All right, guys, welcome back to another video. If you are new here and you enjoy what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's start off here and let's talk about Indiana Jones. So as we know, Indiana Jones is one of the games that is going to be shown off at the Xbox Developer Direct next week on January 18th. And when I did see that, I was pretty surprised, pretty shocked that they are already showing off this game. I wasn't expecting it at the very least this early in 2024, but we are going to be getting a deep dive into the game and seeing what Machine Games has been working on, a behind the scenes look at Machine Games' Indiana Jones. And I'm thinking to myself, if they're showing it off this early, there's a potential here that it could be released in 2024. I had no expectations for this game to be coming out this year. And if it does release, it would just be that cherry on top of the cake for the 2024 year that Xbox is looking to have right now with all of their first party releases. And now we have some more information that it looks like it is going to be coming out in 2024, and them showing it off next week really makes these rumors seem true. It says here, this is from Insider Gaming, that the new Indiana Jones by ZeniMax Media will be released in 2024. Sources close to the game tell Insider Gaming. This here is written by Tom Henderson, who, as we know, is broken a lot of insider information and been right on a lot of stuff. So take that with a grain of salt because it isn't confirmed, but maybe next week we will get an official release date or an official release window for Indiana Jones. If it does come out this year, I'm guessing at the end of the year, which is completely okay with all the other stuff that is going to be coming out that we will have to play. Now, we did see some more information that would insinuate that this game is far further along than maybe people would have thought. And this comes via the documents that were released as a part of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard King. So apparently, Machine Games had hoped to have released this game by the end of fiscal year 22, but because of the pandemic, that obviously did not happen. So it would make sense if they are trying to get this out here in 2024, because if they were trying to release it back for fiscal year 22, it means that this game was far deeper in development than a lot of people knew or a lot of people had thought. So I'm extremely excited for this developer direct to see Machine Games' take on Indiana Jones. Machine Games and Wolfenstein, I love those games. So I really have no fear that they're not going to be able to deliver on this. I think it's going to be the one that most people are interested in when we get to that showcase next week. The other one obviously is like Avowed. I'm extremely excited for, but we've already seen that, but we have seen nothing so far on Indiana Jones. Now, we also got some more news here on Indiana Jones from this Twitter account who did some digging and I believe has found out the name of the game, the official name, when they will announce this at the showcase next week. And that name is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Now, why do we think this now? And why does this account claim this? It's because they found some domains that were registered on January 9th, 2024 with the titles Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.com. This one leaves no doubt, they say, that it is the title of the game because I mean it's the .com domain. There's a bunch of other ones that they went ahead and they registered as well. And they registered domains across many different parts like RU, Asia, .net, US. Like, just obviously this is more than likely the name for the upcoming game. They say here, they also filed for a trademark in Europe 2 years ago for the Great Circle with goods and services for video games. And yes, they include mobile, possibly because these games can now be played via streaming services on phones, or it's some legal reasons they say they don't know much about. And notably, Cyberpunk 2077 and most console and PC games list mobile in its goods and services. So we will wait and see on January 18th if this is the official name. But as of right now, it looks like it is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So when it comes to another Xbox studio, Playground Games. Playground Games is like the shining star right now in the industry in terms of not laying people off and in fact expanding their studio. It was insane how many people and how many studios were laying employees off at the end of 2023, and it is still going on now. There are still layoffs going on at these studios. The industry is realizing at this point of how much more it is costing to make these games and how much harder it is to make your money back because of just the insane amount of saturation now in the gaming industry. And I feel like this leads a lot to the actual cuts that are happening around gaming. But Playground Games is actually doing the opposite right now, as they have grown to over 430 employees, and they are looking for more. It says here, Playground Games, the British video game developer behind the popular Forza Horizon series and the upcoming Fable reboot, has increased its number of employees to 430, and this is according to LinkedIn and Grojo, and it's making it one of the largest studios in the UK, as big as Bethesda Game Studios by an employee count, which is they have 450 employees. And they are actually still looking for more people to hire, with currently 65 vacancies across disciplines such as art, design, engineering, production, and more. So if you're a developer and you're looking for a place to go work, Playground Games is hiring, where a lot of other people out there, a lot of other developers are actually cutting back on the amount of employees they have. So, I mean, this is just telling to how successful Playground Games has been with their games like Forza Horizon, and they're working on Fable, so they're able to be working on two games at once, which is probably another reason why they're trying to expand. But Playground right now at Xbox is one of their top studios by far, with just the quality content and games that they do put out for people to play. Now, when it comes to Gears of War, I'm really hoping that we see something for the next Gears game this year, whether it's just an announcement trailer and some information about what we can expect from this game, or potentially when it is going to be coming out. Because I think this is going to be one of the best looking games that Xbox does put out. I think it's going to be one of the best playing games. I think the Coalition does a great job with their development of Gears. So I'm very excited, especially because they are moving to Unreal Engine 5. And if you've played Hive Busters, you've played Gears 5, it is one of the best looking games out there. So I can't even imagine what they're going to be able to do with Unreal Engine 5. And we kind of got a glimpse of that, as they were ones that helped work on that Matrix demo that really blew everybody away, giving people a sample of what Unreal Engine 5 will be able to do. And it looks like they are ramping up this development for the next Gears game with 8 new hires. A bunch of people here on LinkedIn have started at the Coalition: level artist, associate producer, cinematic animator, senior lighting artist, and others. So pretty cool here, because it means that they are definitely getting ready to get deeper into the development and potentially show us what is next for the Gears series. I feel like that Marcus Phoenix collection is still swirling around in the rumors, and I think that's a no-brainer for Xbox to release. Just, you think about putting all of the Gears games into one package, have all their multiplayer in there, similar to what they did with the Master Chief collection, which is, in my opinion, the best compilation out there in video games. You can do the same thing here with Gears, and that could hold people over as they allow Gear 6 to cook even more and then release it in 2025, or even if they have to in 2026, at least until the game is just ready to go and the Coalition releases their games in good state. So I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm hoping this means that they are getting ready to show something and that they're further along in development for the next Gears game. Now, when it comes to Mojang and Minecraft Legends, we got some pretty sad news yesterday if you are a fan of Minecraft Legends. And then I guess it means that this game just did not do what they were expecting. It did not do as well as they were expecting, but they are officially ending any more development for Minecraft Legends. They made an announcement here on their website saying, since the launch, we've listened to community feedback and implemented a series of changes and tweaks to make the game better. With that complete, we're now going to take a step back from development. So they say that they will not be releasing any new content for Minecraft Legends. Don't expect any more updates, Lost Legends, or Marketplace DLC. However, as a parting gift, Mojang, it has released the Bright-Eyed Hero skin for free, and they say this can be claimed from the Minecraft Legends Marketplace, and a new Lost Legends called Snows vs. Snouts. Now, if you are still playing this game, you don't have to worry. It's not going offline or anything. They're not going to take away any features. It's still going to be up and running for a number of years. People are still playing the game, and everything is going to remain available for free, and you're still going to be able to reap rewards if you claim victory. PvP will still be there, and co-op and online, everything will still be there, but they're just not doing any more updates. So like I said, I'm guessing it's because there's not enough people playing it, didn't do well enough, or this is maybe all they had planned, and now they're moving on to another project at Mojang, or more important projects for them going forward. So if you're playing the game, just don't expect anything new in the future. Now, let's jump over here. Let's talk about Baldur's Gate 3, because we know what's been going on with that huge issue with Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox, specifically with saves being deleted. And we've been waiting for this to get updated so you don't have to worry about potentially losing hours of your game that you've put into a game that you probably would feel very sad if you had to restart and kind of think through all your decisions once again, because it's obviously very decision based and there's so many different outcomes. But now we actually have a date for the Xbox system update that will essentially, I guess, fix this. They say here Microsoft have identified a cause of the save bug on Xbox and will be issuing a firmware update to fix it. You'll be able to update your console manually on the 16th of January or wait a week longer for the update to roll out globally. So 16th of January next week is when you will be able to manually go in and update your console, which should fix the save problem. And if you don't do it on the 16th, the week after that, it will just automatically go in there. So good news there for Baldur's Gate 3 players on Xbox. Let's jump over here. Let's talk about Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone Season 1 Reloaded, because we got some more information here from Activision into what they are bringing over to this game and when it is coming out. So launching on January 17th at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's going to have a ton of new content for people to go play. I'll just quickly go over them for those interested and who are going to be jumping into this. On the multiplayer front, brand new 6v6 map called Rio, medium-sized in a shopping mall with streets around it and a market plaza and stuff like that. So, I mean, you get the gist of what that map is going to feel like and look like. There's a new multiplayer modes that are going to include team gunfight, infected, and headquarters. Multiplayer ranked play will let players compete in 4v4. Now, there's going to be now a new crossover for Call of Duty, and it's with the franchise The Boys, which will include a limited time kill confirm mode featuring power boosts, plus a soup siege event, which lets players unlock a special LMG weapon blueprint. That sounds actually pretty cool. Probably will jump into that and try it out. The zombie players will be able to earn a high-tier loot by defeating the new South Korean-born warlord Dokkaebi, I don't know how to say that. Now, in Warzone, a Gulag Night Vision public event will let players fight it out in the dark, while a new weapon case objective will be introduced in Battle Royale. And there is going to be a new win condition called Covert Exfil that will let players call in a helicopter at a high price for a chance to exit the match early. And finally, Champions Quest will also make its debut in Urzikstan, challenging squads to win 30 games within a season or 5 consecutive matches in order to instigate a devastating endgame. So lots of stuff here coming to Call of Duty Warzone MW3 on January 17th. Keep an eye out for that if you're going to want to jump in there and play. All right, let's talk some AI here, because AI has been a talk of the industry now for a while. I mean, it's going to enter the gaming industry, whether we like it or not, whether developers like it or not. I'm actually on the optimistic side about AI in gaming. I think it will make games far more immersive if done correctly, just in the way that they're going to be able to develop NPCs and have NPCs in living worlds and living cities all seem much more unique than we currently have. I think that's going to be a huge advantage to what AI can do. There's also the patent that EA had filed for using AI to have various sounds that could be automatically created for stuff that is happening within game, just by creating a human creating a single sound, and that gets just changed depending on different styles and different things that are happening within a game. I think that could be very cool as well if you have specific sounds that don't sound all the same across a playthrough of whatever game that you're playing. But when it comes to developers and when it comes to people who are against it, they want to know whether AI is in a game that they're playing, whether there is AI generated content. And Steam is now going to let people know before they purchase their games. It says here, as a part of these guidelines, Valve says it will separate AI use into 2 broad categories, and the 2 categories will be listed are going to be listed are pre-generated, so any kind of content, art, code, sound created with the help of AI tools during development. Under the Steam distribution agreement, you promise Valve that your game will not include illegal or infringing content and that your game will be consistent with your marketing materials. In our pre-release review, we will evaluate the output of AI generated content in your game the same way we evaluate all non-AI content, including a check that your game meets those promises. So, I mean, that's great that they're actually checking these games before they enter the sort of to make sure that it's not just garbage that is put in there via AI. I think that is definitely important. And then the other category here will be live generated. They say any kind of content created with the help of AI tools while the game is running. In addition to following the same rules as pre-generated AI content, this comes with an additional requirement in the content survey. You'll need to tell us what kind of guardrails you're putting on your AI to ensure it's not generating illegal content. So they're making sure that people aren't going to be releasing games into the Steam store with just illegal stuff, copied stuff, because it's going to be hard, right? If you're using AI and they're scouring through many different things that it's already been created and then creating something that could be very similar to what somebody else has created, it could potentially be copyright infringement. So it's good to see that Valve is taking that seriously. Now, they say players will also be able to report content that they believe goes against Valve's policies, and this comes via AI generation, stuff like that. So you're going to know whether these games have AI in them before you play them, and developers are going to have to go through some scrutiny here rather than just being able to freely use AI and then release their games. All right, let's jump over here. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, because it's going to come out this year more likely than not, and it's going to be huge. A lot of people are going to be talking about playing it. I like my Nintendo Switch. I'm going to most likely be picking up a Nintendo Switch 2. I probably will continue to talk about it because I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to impact what we currently have right now with the Series XS and the PlayStation 5, how Nintendo is going to be able to go in there and disrupt those consoles if that's even their plan whatsoever. But we know the current Nintendo Switch, it's far less powerful than what's on the market with the other consoles, and it still sells very well. So we know the Switch isn't going to be playing the power narrative whatsoever, but there will be upgrades, and I think there will be some nice quality of life upgrades that just make games look and run better on the Nintendo Switch 2. And now we have some, I guess, leaks of or insider report on the specs that will be within the Nintendo Switch 2. Again, this is a rumor. None of this has been confirmed, but this is kind of where the smoke has been recently with rumors regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. And here are the leaked specs. It's going to have the NVIDIA T239 processor. It's going to have 8 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, greatly improved battery life, a 120 hertz screen refresh rate, and a price of $400. So they say the price of the system will be increased by 33% from the $300 to $400, and this is due to worries about costs from parts suppliers, and I guess everything has gone up. But you're also getting a version of the Switch that is more powerful, has a better screen, and a much better battery life based off of what they're saying here than what's out there currently on the market. I don't think that the $400 price tag is really going to turn too many people off. I think they would still be willing to pay that extra $100 to get their hands on the next Nintendo console, because I mean, the Switch is a phenomenon, and it's insane how well it still sells, and from a console that was released back in 2017, and it's going to continue to sell well. And then they're going to put this one out here, and I feel like this one is going to be very good as well if they stick with similar branding and keep with the whole portability and all that type of stuff. And then I really think it's important that they have full backwards compatibility. That's still the question that's up in the air. We don't know if this thing is going to be fully backwards compatible, but I think it would be a very dumb move for them not to make it backwards compatible. But based off of this, it really just sounds like it's a refresh in terms of more power, and they're probably just going to continue with very similar developments with relationships with the people making games out there for the Switch. And maybe it'll just be the Switch 2. The games are still going to come out in the same Switch box. There's not really going to be any differentiation or variation between when you go into a store, you buy a Switch game, it'll run on the old Switch and it'll run on the new Switch. Who knows? Maybe that's something that they will consider doing as well. But we'll see here. I'm excited to see the Nintendo Switch 2, hoping it does get announced soon. If we think back to 2017, they announced it, then they released it in March, but we're in January now. So if they are going to announce it, it's got to be soon before the actual release of it in March, if that's what they are deciding to do. But I will end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.